Hello guys, welcome back to the full stack web development course using MERNstack. So, uh, in the previous lectures, we have went through the basics of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.js as well. So, from this lecture, we are gonna just develop the live project. So, especially in this lecture, we are gonna just target the UI or the client side of our Stack Overflow clone. So basically, what you see in front is our clone, which looks exactly like the Stack Overflow, and I have just deployed it in Netlify and the front end as well as the back end in the Heroku. So we will learn that to how to deploy as well as how to push the code in Git in the upcoming lectures. So in this lecture, basically we are gonna just look into the navbar, this left side bar as well as the right side bar as well as the home page with some hard coded things. But here these things are from the back end, but as of now, if since we are targeting the front end part, so we will be just having some hard coded lines of code in this region, as well as this part is completely hard coded. It has nothing to deal with the our app. This left side bar is used to navigate through the tags, users, questions, as well as the home. So this Stack Overflow icon is used to get to the home, as well as these things about products and for teams, and the search bar is just hard coded. It has nothing to deal with our application. We just targeting the core things of the application, like asking a question. See, I can just click into a new question and just go and see what is the topic as well as the body of the topic as well as the tags used. I can upvote and downvote as well as answer the question as well as see who are all answered. So this is basically what we can do with this Stack Overflow clone. So, and also we want to just target this UI of the auth page, like the login as well as the sign up page. So let's do this. So now we're gonna just need the Finder. Just go to where you are having your React projects, where you want to create your new React app. So just go there and create a new folder called Stack Overflow Clone as well. Sorry, I written as a clone. So just hit enter and open this folder in the VS Code like this. So now let me just open that. I'm going to go to the file as well as open as well as I'm just going to navigate to that particular folder. So not this Stack Overflow clone. This is what I have done earlier to which I have deployed in Netlify as well. So this is the empty folder which I have created. And inside that, I'm just going to create two folders called clients and another folder called server. So clients will contain our front end as well as the server will contain our backend. The backend is going to be RESTful API. It is going to be through RESTful API using Node.js as well as Express.js as server and MongoDB as the database. And in the client side, we want to use React.js as well as Redux and Redux Thunk. So the first thing what I'm going to do, I'm just going to open the terminal. So let me just clear these things. And so you can see that I'm inside the client. If you are by default, if you are open, it will be like this. You will be inside the Stack Overflow clone. Just navigate into the client side. So now I'm here as well as let me just clear this thing also. So now you can see it is already navigated into the server. If you couldn't get a terminal like this, two terminal, what by default it will look like this. So wait, it is loading. It will take a couple of seconds to load. You can see it may look like this, but it will have, so it didn't show up here, but definitely in your VS Code it may show two window like that, split window splitted by a simple a vertical line. If you click that, the terminal will be split up into two, just like this. So where you should just navigate into the client side by just hitting cd space client, as well as the server side by cd space server. So in the client side, what we gonna do, npx create react-app, npx create react app dot slash, because we not gonna name it because we have already named it as client. If you hit dot slash, it won't create another directory, instead it will create everything inside the client. So hit enter. As well as in this side, what we gonna do, we just gonna say npm init, which gonna create everything for our node module. It will create a node module if any dependencies are there, as well as it will create a package JSON as well as package log JSON. So if you just npm init, so it says nothing like that because I have done something wrong. It should do like node init. So node init. So it shows another error. So let me just pop it down. So now it shows some error. So version. So wait, let me just come out because I think it is navigated wrongly. So let me just clear everything and enter into the server again by cd server, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna just write npm init. So on the client side, we're gonna use npm. Sorry, the server side we're gonna use npm, as well as in the client side we are gonna use yarn. So both of them are node package managers, so you can use both as well as npm as well as yarn. So here it asks for the package name. I'm just going to leave it as the server, and the version as the same thing, as well as the description and nothing, as well as the entry point is index.js, as well as no test comments or git repositories. Keywords, and the author name is going to be my name, as well as the ISC license, as well as, is this okay? Yes. So now in the server side, you can see our empty package JSON has been created. So we will get into the server side later. So let me just close this package JSON on the server side. So you can see it shows happy again, which means our React app has been created on this client side. So it has a yarn block, which means it uses yarn as package installer. So if it is like a package log JSON, it means it uses npm. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm just going to install dependencies. All the dependencies what we are gonna use in the upcoming lectures. So the first thing we are gonna use is yarn. So if it is yarn block, you're gonna use yarn add. But if it is package log, then you're gonna use npm I, which means npm install. So now in my case it is yarn. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to use yarn add, as well as I'm gonna need issues, which is gonna be used to send request from the server client to the server, as well as I'm gonna need JWT to decode the tokens which we are gonna generate in authentication, as well as moment for calculating the time, as well as we are gonna need React's copy to clipboard, copy to clipboard, as well as we're gonna need react dash router dash dom. Make sure the spelling of everything is the correct thing, and the react router dom, as well as we're gonna need react redux and react dash redux, as well as redux thumb. So I'm just making sure I have just left anything out. So everything is the same, just hit enter if everything's spelling was correct. So it's gonna take some time to, so it shows an error has been occurred. So an unexpected error occurred, trying yarn error for documentation about this command. So resolving packages, so we will just see any yarn add issues, JWT code moment, react copy to clipboard, react router down, redux thunk, as well as react redux. So everything is the same, but what may be error? I think there's no space between moment and, yes, there's no space between moment and react copy to clipboard, but there must be a space between both of them, because moment is a separate dependency, as well as react copy to clipboard is a separate dependency. Now it will install everything. And as well as in the server side, we wanna need some dependencies too. You can see in the server it is package.json, which means we are gonna just use npm I. So we're gonna use bcrypt.js, which is used for hashing the password, as well as JSON web token, as well as we gonna need cores to eliminate cores issues, as well as .tnb to make security purposes, as well as express, which is our hero, as well as we gonna need mongoose to talk to the database, as well as nodemon, which is a dependency for a development server. So we will see what these things are in the upcoming lectures. So we will just wait to get these things installed. You can see there's something called as yarn error, where our error will be displayed. As well, we don't need that. The package.json, you can see our dependencies have been installed, like issues, JWT, moment, react is the framework which we are using, react copy to clipboard, as well as react redux, react router down, redux thunk. As well, the server side is also completed. If you just close this on the client side, as well as open the packages, and on the server side, you may see here the package lock, as well as the node modules are ready. So which means our client side, server side is ready. So you can see bcrypt.js, cores.env, express JSON, web token, as well as mongoose and nodemon, everything is installed. So just close this. We are not now getting into the server, so let me just close this. So we are just going to see about this client. So now what I'm just going to do, we can just put this browser into here. So now let me just delete this client, and we will just delete the server, as well as we just have the client on the terminal. So now what I'm just going to do is yarn start. Yeah, because we are concentrating on the front end part, that's why I'm just going to do yarn start. So it may open another folder in the web browser. So we will, sorry, the another page in the web browser. It automatically opens the browser in localhost 3000. So we will just wait for that, and let me just close this. It takes too much time to do that. So now it is live here. You can see our React symbol is rotating. So let me just close this and this off. Now I'm just going to get into the app and delete those unwanted files. We don't need this, and in the index.js we're just going to clear this, which we have done in the previous lecture as well. And we're gonna go here. As of now, just leave it the same thing. Just close this as well as this. So just clear this things also. And then what we wanna just say h1. What we're gonna do h1 with stack overflow clone. And then what we're gonna do, close this as well as this index, close the src as well as going to the public. Just close this favicon as well as we don't need anything, only the index system. And in here what we're gonna do, just remove these comments to make our app look simpler, as well as this thing, as well as manifest JSON, as well as we don't need this logo as well. And in here we just want to say the title as stack overflow clone. So this is the thing I have forgot in my previous deployment. I have messed it up with the React app, but here it should be stack overflow clone. I have rectified it. So just do mistakes and learn from it. So now we need the favicon. Here it just displays it. The favicon here it displays by the browser's catch. That's why it displays like this. But here I don't have any favicon, so we just gonna need this, as well as I'm just going to create a directory called assets, which gonna have every images what we gonna use in our project. It gonna have every images what we gonna use in our project. So let me just I have these things in the old Stack Overflow clone. So let me just copy things from there. So let me just do a copy and go down to the projects as well as React, the Stack Overflow clone, clients, the src, and inside the assets I'm just going to paste it. So now we will go down here, we will take this favicon. So we'll just take this favicon from here and put it in the public folder because we only need it there. And that's it. So now we do have the favicon as well as the Stack Overflow clone, and in the center we do have some styling because these things are because of the app CSS. Just need these things because we're not gonna use them. We're gonna have our own style things. So just close the index.html. We don't need those things also. Now we will just start with the app CSS. So first we want to target the navbar. So what we're gonna do, we can just create a directory called components, and inside that we're gonna just create a component called, sorry, we're gonna need a directory. So I have closed everything, it seems. We need a directory called navbar, and inside that we're gonna create a navbar dot jsx. JSX means what? It means React extension, as well as we're gonna need another file called navbar. So I keep on spelling like navbar css, so like so. So now inside the navbar jsx, so we're gonna just import this navbar jsx in the app.js. So let me just have the app.js here, and inside here we just want to remove these overflow, stack overflow clone, and what we're gonna have, let me just have the RAFC shortcut here, so that we do have the navbar. Now let me just copy this, as well as I'm just going to import navbar from dot slash components slash navbar slash navbar. So now we have imported the navbar, as well as we want to use it as a component, like so. So now we have just used the navbar here. Now we can go up here and use the navbar down here. Just create the navbar. Instead of using a div tag, what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to use a nav tag, because navbar means it has to use a nav tag. So that's why we're gonna use that. Now with inside that we're gonna use a div, and let's just give a class name of navbar, and inside that what we're gonna do, we're gonna just first have a Stack Overflow logo like this. So don't see all these things, just look into this navbar. We're gonna just style the same thing. So this is an image which shows like the symbol as well as the Stack Overflow. This is an image which is right in the assets what I have copied. So this is going to be a black logo. So this is where it is. This is where we're going to use. So wait a minute. So I think it is inside here. Wait, down. So it is here. You can see that it is a PNG. We want to just use that. Let me just close, and we go here. And what we're gonna say, we're gonna use the link tag here. But if we use link tag without a browser router tag, it may gonna throw an error. So what we gonna do is that we don't want to put the browser router here, because we gonna need the browser router throughout our application, so that we can use the link tag anywhere in our application. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to wrap this app inside the browser router. So now let me just import that browser router. So let me just import the browser router first. Import browser so as router from React's dash router com. So let me just close this to have a better view of the app. So what here we gonna do, here we just going to use this router. So and here we just wanna have closing tag of the router like so, and here we do have the navbar. So we are inside the navbar, we do have the link tag. So whatever we do have below this in the app, it's gonna be inside the router. So whatever the thing you're gonna put here is going to be, you can just have a link tag anywhere in the application, because we have wrapped the entire application with the browser router. So now here we can easily use the link tag. So that's what we want to do. Here we just going to use the link. So it shows like link has not been imported. So I'm just going to import link from React router now as well. So in the link, what we're gonna do is just gonna say a 2 which equals the home page, which means a single slash, and I'm just going to give a class name of nav item, because this is a nav item, as well as another class name called a nav btn, like so. Hit enter. So just do an ng src, which is gonna be equals to a logo. We're gonna just import the logo, don't worry, and the alc attribute, which we have explained in the HTML basics lecture, which is gonna be our logo. We're just going to leave it as a logo as well, and we'll just close that. But here we wanna use the self-closing tag. So this is so this logo has to be imported here. Let me just do that. Import logo from dot slash components, sorry, assets. We want to go into the assets, and inside that we're gonna go to the logo.png. So if you just refresh, we do have the logo here. This is how we have to use an image in the React. So now the next thing what is gonna be is the about. The next thing is the about products, 4 teams, as well as the search bar and the login button. These things are hard coded. It has nothing to do with our application. So just we're gonna hit that link. Sorry, it just created a link tag, but we're gonna need a link component with a 2 of single slash, which is gonna be our home, and a class name of nav item and nav btn. Class name of nav dash item and then nav dash btn. And let me just copy these things several times, so I can have other items also. We just wanna have it 3 times. So inside here we just wanna say about, and in here we just wanna see products, and in here we just wanna see 4 teams. And the next thing, for that input tag, we just wanna have a form tag, So form tag has action in HTML, but in React we don't need that action. So inside the form tag, I didn't explain about form tag in HTML because it differs a bit in React, so that's why I didn't use that in HTML, because there we do have action, but in React we don't need actions. So the next thing is nothing but the input. The input is going to be text because this is a search. If it is a authentication page, then we should have a password here, so that for a password we're just gonna have this holder of search dot as well, sorry, and then we just wanna have a label. Sorry, for we don't need to have a label, instead we need the search icon like this. So to get the search icon, we can do, if you need any icon this, then just go to font awesome. So just note this resource, which is a really great resource. We can get many icons from this fontawesome.com. So just go here and just go to the search. So let's just make this a bit bigger. So just search here for search icon. I left the CH, but we got what we want. So this is the icon which we gonna use. We just get into that. So we can just going to install that, sorry, download that. Just agree and download. Just close this, and let me just close this thing too. So go down here and check the downloads, it will be there. So where it is, search thing, where is the search thing? It is here. Just go a bit down. We are into the public folder. Here inside the src, go into the assets, just drop it there, and then just come here, just close this as well, and then here we're just gonna use the image tag, and in the src we just wanna see search. So I have told we have to use the, so I have told we have to use the search, sorry, we have to use, if we have to use JavaScript inside React, we need the set brackets. So we have to import the search now. What we're gonna do, import search from dot slash assets slash search solid.svg. This is the thing. So now if we just refresh, we're gonna have a bigger icon. We will style this thing, don't worry as well. And so what we can do, we can just give a width of 18. So just close this. So just refresh. So now it is smaller, much more smaller. So now what we're gonna do, now we're gonna have the, so first let me just declare another variable called user. So after authentication we will have the logged in users details here. If that user equals to, so let me just give a caps. If that, let me just have, as of now I'm just going to have a null for that user. If the user have authenticated, we will have the data inside this user variable, and we're gonna use it in the navbar, don't worry. So now, so let's just give a var for this to not throw any errors. So here what we can do, we can just have a condition if the user triple equals null. If you are familiar with any uh, programming language, you should be come up with this ternary operator, which is nothing but this question mark. So if this user triple equals null, then what we're gonna do, we're just going to say login. Sorry, what we're gonna say, we're just gonna have a link tag. Sorry, so I have this link tag and a closing link tag as well, and inside that we're gonna just say the 2 equals to slash auth, and the class name is gonna be nav dash item nav dash links. So now inside the link tag we just want to say login like so, and if the user is logged in, what we're gonna say, we're gonna just return empty angle bracket with a link tag which equals to, as of now let me just leave this as a say, single slash, but in the upcoming in the forthcoming videos we will change that thing, don't worry. And here I'm just going to say a class name which equals avatar. Instead we will we do need to have many avatars in our app. So what we're gonna do, we just gonna create a avatar component and we're gonna just use it here. So inside that we're gonna just say an avatar slash, so we will create this avatar as soon as possible. As of now let me just import it, avatar from dot slash components slash avatar slash avatar. We will create that as soon as possible. So let me just, we don't want to name this as of now. So after this avatar, what we're gonna say, we're gonna have a button for logout. So we gonna need a lot of buttons in the through the application. So we're gonna just create a component for the button also. Don't worry, we'll just have a button which is not going to be a self-closing tag. Instead it is going to be a it's going to be a separate open tag as well as a close tag. Inside that we're gonna just say logout, and avatar is also going to be it's not going to be a self-closing tag. So inside the child, what we're going to give is the first letter of the user who have logged in. So as of now we do have a static value called m. In the upcoming lectures, if we have integrated with the backend, then we will change the m as the user's first name's first letter. Okay, so now we do need to input this button also. So let me just paste in another time and close this thing. and copy this button, paste it here twice as well as here also. So now we do have to create this button and avatar in the components. Inside the components we wanna create button. Inside that we want to just say button dot jsx as well. We're gonna just create a avatar as well as another avatar dot jsx. That's it. So now here we just gonna have this rafc as well as this avatar rafc. That's it. So now, as of now, the logout button and as well as the avatar won't show up because we didn't have logged in. So we will do that later. First, we will just style this navbar first. So now, what we're gonna do? We're gonna go into the navbar css. And here we're gonna just select this nav first, this nav, and we're gonna have a curly brace inside that. I'm just going to give a min width of min height. I messed up. Min height of 50 px and a width of 100%. We don't need to give this as 100% since we're gonna have this as a fixed position. You can see this position is fixed. That's why we do need to give the width as 100. And I'm just going to say the margin as 0% as auto, and I'm just going to see the border top as solid 3px, and I'm just going to use the Stack Overflow's famous color EF8236, which is going to be an orange like color, which is used with Stack Overflow, and a box shadow. We're gonna need a box shadow as 0px, 1px, and 5px, as well as a black, a 0.3 opacity black color. We're gonna have 5 zeros almost. I think 6 zeros. So we do have 5 and 6 as well as 3. So now let me just refresh. It has to have something, but we didn't have nothing because we didn't import the navbar here. What we gonna do, navbar import /navbar.css. So just refresh this. So we got the border top as solid 3px and the orange color, as well as we got a box shadow at the end. You can see that as well, but the min height is 50px. It is more than 50px here. Don't worry, we will put everything side by side. So now let me just expand this, and we're gonna give a position of fixed so that the number will be fixed at the top, as well as an z index of 5, and a top and the left as 0%, as well, and background color as hash f8, f9 and f9. So I have taken these colors from the official Stack Overflow website to look exactly the same thing. So now I'm just going to have a display of flux and justify contents as center, and align items center. So if you can see, this whole bunch of thing is in the center. Now what we do, we will give the display flex for this navbar so that everything is gonna be in a row. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna have the navbar, select the navbar and give the height as 100% to occupy the entire height of the nav, and a min width of 85% to put everything in the center, as well as display flex, and align items center, and justify contents space between. So you can see, let me just refresh. You can see now everything is spaced out nicely. And the next thing, we're gonna just look into the nav logo, which is this thing. We're gonna just give us padding for that. So we didn't give the class name as nav logo here. So sorry, I have a typo here. This is not a nav btn, this is a nav logo especially. So just go to the nav dash logo, and inside that we're gonna just give a padding for this as a padding 5px 20px. So let me just give a 25px for this, and I'm just going to select all the nav items now and give a margin for them as a 0px and a 3px to give a space between them, as well as the font size. I'm just going to increase that, so decrease that to small. Also, I'm just going to say the font weight as 500, so just a bit bold, and the text decoration is gonna be none to remove those underlines as well, and the color is gonna be RGB of 69, 69, 69, and then the transition is gonna be 0.2 seconds because we're gonna have a background color on hover, so that's why we do need that. So let me just refresh. So I think we got a typo because this has to be good now. So this is nav item. I have entered as a nav items. So now you can see now everything looks fine. It became black color, and there's no underscore for everything. And now we're gonna just say the nav btn, nav dash btn, and for that I'm just going to say a cursor of pointer and a border radius for them is gonna be 20px, so to get a curvy border, as well as a padding for them is gonna be 10px and a 20px. So let me just refresh. So if I just give a background on hover, we will see the border radius as well as the padding for every step of this buttons as well. So now let me just give a hover for them. what we can say here, not dot nav dash item hover, and inside that we want to just say a background color of RGB of 25 25 25. So now we need to see the magic right away. So it is like a white color, but we don't need a white color, we need a black color. So to get that, what we can do, just hover on this color thing, just pull it up down, so it is a lot more black. So what we can do, we're gonna have it somewhere here, just do a trial and error method. That's what we're gonna do. And we need more light thing, so now it looks a bit of reddish, but we don't need that reddish thing, so leave it here. So now it looks a lot more fine. You can see it is the same thing. For these three things, we got the border radius and the padding as 10px as well as 20px, because we got a nav button, not nav as btn. So we have the nav btn for these three things only, and the nav item is for every items inside the nav. So what we have done in nav item, we have just rectified the text decoration as well as the color and the transition we have provided. And for the logo, we got a separate nav logo and provided a padding of 5 as well as 25, which is here 25 here and a 5 here. So like so. So if we have been through the basics lectures, this would be a lot more simpler. So now we will get into this search as well as this login. So now let's just go here, and now after this, what we're gonna say, we're gonna just say the dot navbar, and inside that we're gonna select the form, and inside that we just going to select the input. Inside that I'm just going to give a min width of 90% and a margin of 0 and a padding of 8px and 10px as well as 8px as well as 32px. So what is this 8 10 8px, which means, let me just refresh. So you can see now this thing is bigger. This is for top, and the second thing is left, bottom, and this is right, bottom, and this 32 is left, because we gonna need this search icon here. That's why we have provided a 32px space. So the next thing which we are gonna use is font size as 13px. We're gonna give a font size as 13px as well as the border of solid 1px and hash 000. We're gonna need 6 zeros, 3 4 5 6 and a 3e, which means a 0.3, almost a 0.3. Opacity black color, this is nothing but, you can see it is here, and the opacity is here. And then I'm just going to have a border radius of 3px. So just give a slight curvier box. So that's why we're gonna need, and we're gonna select this search icon through a class name called icon, So here we didn't provide a class name, so let's just have a class name of icon. Sorry, search icon. We can just give a search icon. If you are naming a class name for styles, then just provide a specific. It should be specific for this thing, because if you just leave it as icon and somewhere in the application we gonna use the same word as icon, if you forget, then it will mess up with your project. So that's why in React you should be specific with the names. So inside the nav bar, we're gonna select the form and dot icon, and the position is gonna be absolute. The icon's position is gonna be absolute with respective for the form. So wait a minute. So before stating the form, we have to state the form. I have forgot navbar form. Excuse me. We're gonna just say a flex grow of 1. Let me just say what is this flex grow means, and the padding 0px as well as 12px, and the position is going to be relative, so that the icon is going to be positioned as absolute, which is going to be relative to this form, so that I can position that easily. So let me just refresh and say left as 25px and top as 8px. So you can see now, just refresh. So it is one above the other. Let's just see what messed up. So we will just delete these things and leave the position. Yes, just refresh it down here, it just comes down. So its position is not absolute, that's why it behaves. So this is because I didn't give the name correctly. So I gave it as a search icon, which I have told much longer about that, but I didn't give it correctly here. That's what the error. So you should be careful with CSS. That's what it is. Now the search icon is in a correct position. So now I told to talk about this flex grow. What flex grow means. So I want this input tag should be the size of, it should decrease in size. I want everything should be in the same size. You can see these strings are in the same size as well as this, but I need this input tag should be a lot more bigger. So if I just compress this website's page, it should shrink. That's what flex group means. So it will leave. So this contains 85% of this width. If everything gets an equal amount of space for this, for the first four things, and as well as this thing, just flex group with a value of 1 occupies the entire space which is left out by these things. If space is allocated for these first four things as well as the last one, this input now occupies the rest of the space. That's what flex group 1 means. So now the last thing is nothing but the login icon. So in login icon is gonna be dot nav links, nav dash links, and we're gonna say a padding of 7px and 13px, and border solid 1px, 1px blue, border radius 3px, background color as hash e7 f8, sorry, f8 fe, and the cursor is going to be pointer like so. And let me just refresh. So now we do got a nice blue color as a background and a nice button for login. So now let me just have a hover color for that. So I don't want these same color to be here. I want another color to be here. So I'm just going to have a nav link hover the separate background color of hash d3, sorry, d3 3 e d3 e4 eb. So now let me just refresh. So it is a blue color while I am hovering it. So you may notice the difference between this color and this color. So that's what this thing means. So I think this lecture ends now with this simple navbar. In the next lecture, we will concentrate on the sidebars on both of the sides of the home page. So until then, thank you. Goodbye.